Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa buddhang dhammang sanghang namasami. Once again, people who have arrived later, welcome to all of you. And as we just concluded this meditation, making our mind peaceful, light, free from many burdens. As we meditate, as we allow mindfulness to grow with the breath or with the awareness of the body or with any object, right objects, then it has a peaceful effect on our mind right away. And that is because we use the right mindfulness. Lord Buddha, while teaching about mindfulness, Sati, he taught about right mindfulness, not just the mindfulness. You have to understand there's a difference between the mindfulness and right mindfulness. For example, when a person, when a robber or a thief, when he is hiding somewhere to attack people and to rob them or to kill them, that person also has mindfulness. To be there, to be attentive, to observe, to be careful what is happening. But that kind of mindfulness Lord Buddha didn't say as right mindfulness. Because, or when a cat trying to catch a mouse, that cat also has mindfulness. But that is not right mindfulness, samma sati. And that is because that mindfulness is rooted in some unwholesome tendencies, either the greed or the harmfulness or hatred or anything such as that. So that is not the right mindfulness, samma sati. When the Lord Buddha taught the Maha Satipatthana Sutta, the great discourse on mindfulness, development of mindfulness, he was teaching like this: as you are aware, as you become mindful, whether with regard to the body or to the mind, to your meditation objects, you also must be careful not to fall into liking, not to fall into disliking. Everywhere in the Maha Satipatthana Sutta, Lord Buddha taught like this: Vinaya lokeya vichado manasang. Having abandoned, having let go the greed or clinging or craving, and also the aversion. That's how we establish the right mindfulness. So it is very important as we practice, try to be aware, try to be mindful, try to develop our overall mindfulness in our day-to-day lives, to be aware of this point of not falling into the liking and disliking, knowing the object, being aware, whether it is pleasant or unpleasant, but not going with the liking, not going with the disliking. This is fundamental. So all our Satipatthana, Mahasatipatthana practice, establishment of mindfulness is rooted here. Any other way you do, which involves liking or disliking, then it's far away from being the right mindfulness. As you observe the breath, for example, as you observe the breath, in breath and out breath, the breath is breath. We breathe in and breathe out. Sometimes the breath is very subtle and peaceful. Very, very subtle. And that time the mind is very light. Maybe you are feeling lightness in the body itself as well. And then we can fall into liking. Oh, this feels so good, this feels so peaceful, the mind is so peaceful and calm, the body is light. And then we can fall into the liking. I want this to continue. This should continue, this must continue, this must not go away. And then our mindfulness has become corrupted then and there. It's no longer right mindfulness. It's just being aware, but not being aware in the right way. You are grasping now to the pleasant feelings. And as you grasp, all the cravings and clingings and defilements will arise. When the mind is not peaceful, restless, cannot make it peaceful. Goes here, goes there, thinks this thought, thinks that thought. So many thoughts, like the flood, it comes. And the body also doesn't feel comfortable anymore because the mind is full of restlessness. And then the aversion, the disliking may arise. I don't feel good. It's not good. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. I can't do this. Again, you have fallen away from right mindfulness. Because you have fallen, you have gone towards disliking. So all the right awareness, right understanding will run away. So the practice of Sati, mindfulness, must involve cutting off the liking, cutting off the disliking. If this is done, then it will grow. And that's where the whole world gets stuck, to the likings and to the dislikings. That's where all the people are stuck, except the enlightened ones. To the likings and to the dislikings. You see your life from the morning as you get up, whatever activities you do involves liking, involves disliking. And it keeps on repeating. It becomes a pattern, a very strong pattern. It has already become a very strong pattern. That's the basic characteristic of the normal people. So when our mind is stuck with something, with liking, and doesn't want to let go, then it suffers. It is good, it should be like this, it must remain, it should not change. Then it has suffering. And then again, when it goes to the disliking again, it is not good, it is unpleasant, I don't want it to stay, it must go away. This is not good at all. I don't feel good about this anymore. And then it is again not free from burden. It feels heavy again, not light, not free flowing. As you observe the breath, when your mind becomes very peaceful and subtle, you don't have to do anything, you just know this in breath and this is out breath, that's all. And when your mind is free from all these distracting thoughts, it's very peaceful and refined. It's a free-flowing mind, just being there, not struggling with things, not struggling with the body, not struggling with the mind, not struggling with anything, just knowing things and being, just knowing and letting go. But then we have the likings and we have the dislikings, and it's not free-flowing anymore. It's not. If there is a very nice clear mountain stream with clean water flowing peacefully with that nice sound of the flowing water, it's flowing water, but it's still. It's not disturbed or agitated. It's flowing, but it's still water. That's the nature of the mind. When the mind has it has a lot of sati. It has awareness, it has samadhi. It's just flowing. And then what happens if there is suddenly there's a big flood? A lot of these slush and rocks and soil and mud and all kinds of things, or there's a landslide somewhere and it gets mixed with it and there's a big flood, and then the river suddenly becomes dirty. This mountain stream, no longer clean. It gushes out, rushing downstream with all these mud and rock and sand and everything. The water is all dirty. That's the mind when it is afflicted with our defilements, which has no sati, no awareness, no samadhi, nothing. That clear, beautiful mountain stream is not looking good anymore. And then all this passes away after some time, maybe some hours or a day or two. And then the flood stops. Flood stops. And then all this flows away downstream, and the water is clean again. That's like we going back to sati and samadhi. But then in future more floods can come, because we have there's a possibility of more flood. Too much rain can happen, or landslide can happen, or some earthquake or something, some natural disaster, and floods can happen in future, because the causes of these disasters are very much there. Weather can change, the earth rock formation can undergo some change or something. Similarly, for the people, their mind can be polluted again, because the causes, the defilements are very much there. The defilements, greed, hatred, ignorance, very much there. It's not uprooted, not given up, not abandoned. So when it comes back, again the water is polluted. That's the mind of the people. Whether they are educated or uneducated, or rich people or poor people, or belonging to this country or another country, it's all the same. People can look different, they may eat different food, they may speak different languages, but ultimately the way the heart of the people, the mind of the people works, it's still the same. Either it has the wisdom or it has the ignorance. If it has the wisdom, then it lets go the defilements, and then it has the ignorance, then it grasps at the defilements, and then it becomes burdened like this unclean water. So we allow our mind to go back to the Sati, to mindfulness and to Samadhi, to peacefulness, unification, peaceful unification of the mind because of collectedness of the mind, because of wholesome qualities. We allow this to go back to there, to develop this Sati and Samadhi and all these qualities. Why? We create conditions. We create conditions, first of all, not to allow the defilements to arise so frequently. To create conditions which are opposite to the defilements, strengthening our mind to reduce the flow of the defilements, to reduce the strength of the flow of the defilements. So it is so important to practice the Dhamma just because of this. If we don't, then our defilements are unlimited, uncontrolled. Then I gave the example, then the water becomes dirty sometimes, but if it is uncontrolled, then the water may become dirty for a very long time. It can be full of mud and soil and stones and all kinds of things, not suitable for drinking for days or months or years together. Similarly, our minds can become like this. If we do not take care of it, if we do not apply the Sati, if we do not develop the Samadhi. So we go back to this. We have to go back to this again and again, so that it's like somebody who's addicted to junk food and then keeps on eating junk food every day, and it puts on weight, becomes unhealthy, has a lot of disease, and then he goes to the doctor says you have to cut down on all these things, and you have to eat healthy, and you have to exercise. As he keeps developing, as he keeps cutting down on the junk food and keeps healthy, eats healthy and exercise and becomes fit, reduces the weight, what happens then? Then he is healthy again. But then if he continues with his bad eating habits and bad lifestyle, then he becomes more and more sick, prone to very serious, very big sickness, or likely to die early. That's what happens when our mind becomes sick more and more, because we allow the defilements to grow more and more. And then what does it mean to likely to die early? It means it will lead us to a greater, very large amount of suffering, and also to the lower worlds in the future lifetimes. A great amount of suffering here and now, and also in the future. But if we practice the Sati, mindfulness, if we go back to this, then we are creating the opposite conditions, the defilements to become weaker, just like going on a diet control, doing the exercise and reducing the weight. Reducing the weight of unhealthy fat. Similarly, reducing the weight of unhealthy defilements in the mind. But that's not enough. Why? Because if this fellow goes back to these junk habits again, junk eating habits, goes back to those old lifestyle again, he can again gain weight, right? There's a possibility. He can again gain a lot of weight, he can again fall sick, possibility. But then if he understands, if he has the wisdom that this was me before, this is me right now, and I can see there has been a great positive change. I look better, I feel better, I have no sickness, I have no discomfort right now, I should never go back to it. The habit of eating, the craving to eat this or that, junk food or whatever it is, must be fully abandoned. That's the wisdom. Then seeing the benefit, gradually one abandons the craving and clinging and the defilements. But that's a gradual process. It's not something that happens overnight. It's a very slow and gradual process. But it happens. If people are doing it correctly, then it happens. That's also with the practice of meditation. That's also with the practice of Dhamma and towards our enlightenment. Just like this. As we practice, as we go back to this Sati and Samadhi and go back to the wholesome qualities and nurture the wholesome qualities to a very high level and reduce the burden of the unwholesome qualities, we gradually tend to recognize this has better, this is where the happiness lies. And that's where previously all the suffering existed. This is happiness, that is suffering. Happiness is this way, suffering is that way. That's the understanding of the first noble truth, and the second noble truth, and the third noble truth, and also the fourth noble truth. Knowing the happiness, knowing the suffering. So just like the person I gave the example, fully gives up for his lifetime the bad eating habits or unhealthy lifestyle, doesn't go back to it again, because he recognizes the great value of being healthy. Similarly, as we gradually recognize the great value of being mindful, letting go of our defilements, cutting down on the likings and dislikings, then gradually the wisdom arises. Happiness is here, suffering is here. And I wouldn't go back to the unhappiness or suffering. I don't need to. There is no need for this. It's no use. It's of no use. That's the wisdom. And now how people think, it is of use. If I just use all my life and energy and all my effort to channelize to chase the objects of liking and to push away the objects of disliking, this is of great value. What we like to chase. What we do not like, we like to push away. And why do we do? Because we think it's great. It has a value. If I chase the objects that I just like, I'll be happy. If I push away the objects that I do not like, I'll be happy again. So there's a value. I mean, in our mind there's calculation going on. This has value. And this is all misconception, rooted in ignorance. You see? All the things that we think are of precious, are of great value, and we do and chase in our lives. And then if you look at it from the perspective of true wisdom, you will see, this has no value. Not really. That's the wisdom of these Four Noble Truths. All five aggregates, this body, this mind, when we cling, this is all suffering. Sankitena Panchapadana Khanda. This is right here. So the practice of Dhamma is like this. It should develop like this. In a way, it is simple. In a way, what I have just said so far, all this time, it sounds simple, but it's not simple. Why? Because there are so many defilements in our mind. And as of now, the defilements are stronger than our mindfulness and wisdom. They are stronger. Our mindfulness and wisdom are weaker. That's why it is difficult. If it was just so simple as I said, and it's just a smooth way of doing, then it would have been very easy. Then all of us would have become enlightened by this time. But since there are defilements, and since we have strengthened these defilements, not just in this life, life after life, and we have make it really, really strong and powerful, and we have not strengthened our mindfulness and wisdom, they are the strong ones. They are the ones that control everything. But then the good thing is, no matter how big or how enormous these defilements are, as you keep working to reduce them with the practice of Dhamma, they are bound to reduce, become lesser and lesser if you do it sincerely, and then one day finally fade away. That's the good thing. And that takes a lot of time. And we must keep practicing and keep enduring our mind till that time. If it takes a day, it takes a day. If it takes a year, it takes a year. If it takes a lifetime, it takes a lifetime. If it takes 1 billion lives, let it take 1 billion lives. That's fine. No big deal. We must have that kind of patient endurance. Anything else, and you are off the track. And that's why Lord Buddha said, patient endurance is the highest of all austerities. Patient endurance is the real quality that can reduce and destroy the defilements. If you endure and let go, do not chase those defilements. They are bound to disappear one day. That day might come after a very long time, but that day will come for sure. So we practice with patient endurance. Not patient endurance with regard to the other people or external things. No. That's not the real patient endurance is. Patient endurance with regard to our thoughts and feelings and moods and the flow of defilements. That's what we do not chase. That's what we do not run after. That's what we endure not to go with and let go. I will not go this way. This is the way of defilement. Therefore, this is the way of suffering. I will not go this way. That's the real training of our heart. Everything else you do is of no great use. But when you train your heart like this, to endure and let go, but not to go towards the way of defilements, that's the true training of the heart. That's why Lord Buddha said, if there is any quality that can destroy the defilements, truly, fully, then it is the patient endurance. We do not keep the defilements in our mind and endure them. We endure because they are pulling us. The defilements are pulling us. Come with me, we'll go this way, we'll go this way, we'll do this. We endure not to go that way. That's the practice. That's where we apply the Sati and Samadhi and everything. That's where we let go. And if we let go, then it is complete. It is rightly done. Samma vimutti. Right liberation, Lord Buddha has said. Right liberation. So this much we offer to you today for your contemplation and practice. May you be able to remember. And if you are not able to remember, then go back to YouTube again and see. And nowadays it's easy. You don't have to remember everything at one go. So go back to the YouTube and see again what was said, and then recollect and contemplate and practice, and may you all be able to progress and finally attain to the supreme bliss of liberation. Sukhino bhavantu. So today we have already dedicated the chanting in the name of our Upasaka Tulsi Ramayaji. You are here, right? Okay. So, and all the merits of the meditation and the discourse on the occasion of your birthday. What's the number of birthdays? Sorry. What's the 70 you said last time? I don't remember. How many? What's the number of birthdays? Sukhiya tune bhana pachat. Number 70, 76, 75. 75, 76, you said last time. What's the number of birth? 70? 70? 80. 80.
For 8 years.
So yours is 80.
Yesterday you completed 8 years.
Okay. Oh, okay. You're 80 years old. Okay. Our Upasaka is 80 years old, but he's still strong. Good, very good. And we are Tulsi Ramaji. Sit, we'll give blessings. You sit, we'll give blessings. You sit. We'll give you blessings. He's a 80-year-old young man. So we wish you all the good health and lot of progress on the path of Dhamma, lot of progress in my Sati and Samadhi and Panya, and may you grow and may you soon attain, as soon as possible, attain to the Nibbana. We'll all give you blessings on the occasion of your birthday. Sabbetiyo vibhajanto sabbarogo vinasato mate bhavatu antarayo sukhe deghayo ko bhava abhivadana sile sani changmoda pachayino chataro Dhamma vadhanti ayovano sukhang balang ayurarogya sampati sagga sampati mevacha atho nibbana sampati emenade samichatoti bhavato sabba mangalang raka to sabba devata sabba buddhano bhavena sada soti bhavantu te bhavato sabba mangalang rakanto sabba devata sabba dhammano bhavena sada soti bhavantu te bhavato sabba mangalang rakanto sabba devata sabba sanghano bhavena sada soti bhavantu te sadhu sadhu sadhu. So after this you can come to the dining hall for serving. Okay, you can go and sit now. So we conclude here then our Sunday Dhamma program, and this is a wonderful opportunity, so you should come yourself, and I should also tell all the people you know to come and attend. On every Sunday we are having this program of chanting and meditation and discourse, and also we'll have every Sunday at 12:30 we have Kannada discourse as well for people, for Kannada speakers. So today also we'll have Kannada Dhamma Discourse at 12:30 p.m. after lunch. So we will conclude now. Any announcements? Any announcements, Vajira? Any announcement? कुछ है नहीं है? Okay. So good. So then we'll conclude, all of you. Now it is time for meditation. I think some meditation and something. No, what is that? What's the time? Okay. So people who want to practice meditation or read books, Dhamma books here, can do that here in the Dhamma hall, or you may go to the Bodhi tree also, sit and meditate. You can do that. And those who want to come and serve lunch, some of you may come to the dining hall and serve lunch, maybe 11:15, and then after that you can come back and meditate again if you wish. And 12 o'clock is the lunch time for all the lay people. So you can gather in the community hall, you can have your lunch, and those who want to attend the Kannada Dhamma Discourse at 12:30, they can also do, or you can just sit and meditate for the whole day as well, and either read or meditate and spend your full day at the Bihara. You are free to do that. Attend the evening chanting also. We have evening chanting at 6 o'clock. You can attend and go. So we conclude we'll pay homage to the Triple Gem and conclude. Arahang samma sambuddho bhagava buddhang bhagavantang Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namah Supatipanno Bhagavato Savaka Sangho Sanghang Namah